Hello, everyone. If you're tuning in tonight, I have Nick Hilton here. He is with the municipality district of Yarmouth. He's District 7 winner, and we're going to get right into this thing. So thank you, Nick, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm excited to share some of what's going on in our municipality. And I'm also really excited to catch up with you, an old friend, as we get older, like we were talking about prior to the show. Those relationships mean more and more. So I'm super happy to be here.
Don't they ever? Ah, geez. I feel like my body just gives out on me every now and then.
Yeah, I know the feeling. You spend more time going to physio than you do hanging out with friends, I think. But um, that's the benefits of living in Canada, I guess. And
Yes, sir. Me in a manufacturing environment, I feel like I kind of sell my body for the paycheck.
yeah,
It's really hard on the body, but
It's funny that you say that because I have a desk job right now. I've been in nursing for 18 years and I work in continuing care. And I don't think it's just as hard to sit at a desk and do nothing on your body than it is to work on a cement floor all day. But either way, father time seems to be catching up.
there's a balance, isn't there? You got to
Yeah.
find the balance. So, Nick, I just want to talk a little bit, a little bit about your early life. So, where in Yarmouth did you grow up?
I grew up in Chicago. My parents were uh, they built a house on the Peterson Road in Chicago when I was a kid, and I had a great childhood. Really, attended Hebron School, which is really the site of the municipal building now. So that came full circle, and went on to Maple Grove and high school and um, into Burridge. So I've done majority of my schooling here in Yarmouth. Attended St. Mary's for a year, but returned back to the hospital here, and I've spent quite a bit of time there. I've been very lucky to be part of this community for a long time, and made some great friends here, and uh, I'm excited to represent the community.
I agree, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
I was on the Nick Hilton bandwagon the second I found out you were going to run.
Appreciate it. It's something I've thought about for a long time, and it was the right opportunity.
I basically found out through Facebook that you were going to run. And I sat back, I laid back, I got this nice little lazy boy, and I laid back and I said to my lady, who's a teacher here in Chester, I said, there is no one better to be on that council than Nick Hilton.
I
And
appreciate it. I feel like I got the community part down. Like I feel like I want to support the people that are here and listen to the people that are here. I'm still wrapping my head around the policy and procedure part of it, and and trying to kind of follow proper council etiquette. That's probably been a stretch for me. I've had some great mentors. I actually ended up on a hockey team this year with the retiring warden from Digby, Jimmy,
wow.
Jimmy McAlpine, and he's been super. He's just been a great mentor and given me some direction on how to follow proper procedure, and I thank him for that. And the CAO of the town actually just got placed on our hockey team as well. So it's a political party in the dressing room. So
Oh, that's good. I mean, I think a lot of people probably think you go into council and you say, this is what I want for my people or my district, and that's how it works. You fire off and you hope to get a return, but there's actually a procedure in place of how to go about these things.
well, and I probably went there thinking that I've been on several boards. Talk about that a bit later, but that things don't move overly fast, and your opinion is only one of many, and I mean, you're there for the greater good. uh, uh, I just, I hope to be able to move some of the things forward uh, that haven't been done over the years, the past few years. I'm looking forward to like hopefully finding out if we're ever going to get a new swimming pool in the town of Yarmouth, because right now we have none, or reopening the old one. All those are current issues. A splash park, a few other things. I just voicing what the concerns of the people are, um, as a whole, I think is important, and just pushing those things forward that you know that your kids and the next generation are going to look forward to.
Right. Right. That comes to the issue of the YMCA. And I've had people message me as far as British Columbia saying, the YMCA in Yarmouth shut down. And I'm like, how did you know that? Like, how did that story reach so far away? But I
I
mean, I,
mean,
I remember when in our youth, you had people like Peter Dowsett and Stephen Spades. They basically lived at the YMCA and drew kids in there with the pool and the weights and the basketball court. So I mean, that's quite a hot topic.
yeah, Peter and Steve are both still here giving back to the community and um, growing families of their own. So they're still great community members. And in a place like the YMCA definitely is missed right now. And there is a push to figure out what that next step is. And I know that I can only, I can speak to, give you two opinions. First, the municipality is open to having those discussions on what the Manor Center and what the bridge committee will look like, to like the bridge to when we get a new building, or if we get a new building. And both of those committees are happening right now. I'm pushing for them to happen faster. Um, and in my personal opinion, I guess, would be that, a fishing community with no pool makes little sense. Um, we need to learn how to swim, and we all know that the early years are the best time to do that. And with a long, cold winter, a heated pool makes that a whole lot more tolerable. So I am for both the bridge and the new project, as long as they're cost effective for the municipality. So I look forward to seeing those reports and supporting my other councilors that are on those committees, um, and coming to some sort of resolution for those issues.
Well, let's hope there is a resolution. I think it's
Mm.
something that the town, really needs. A lot of kids that would, otherwise get into trouble could go into the YMCA and work any frustration they had out, whether it be lifting weights, playing basketball, swimming. You know, I can remember personally, there was a lot of kids that just went there to have fun, and fun was had there.
Yes, for sure. I like. There's two different parts to this too. Like what it would cost to reopen the Y, and it won't. We keep calling it the YMCA, but the town has bought the building and is looking to reopen that. And what services will be provided at the new building. So, or at either of the new buildings, the current one or whatever, whenever we can look at getting a new pool facility built, um, if that's what's needed. So I'm really looking forward to working with the town and Argyle and Yarmouth Recreation to see what those programs can look like, and to bring the kids and that fun that we were talking about back to the building.
That's excellent to hear, Nick. To take it off a serious topic for a little bit, what hobbies do you enjoy in your downtime?
Yeah, it's I've always been into sports. I'm a member of the Yarmouth Curling Club, and as we talked about prior to this, the Old Timers Hockey League here in Yarmouth. Uh, and I enjoy both of those throughout the winter. And I recently took up bicycling, and joined a group in town twice a week during the summers. And anything sport related, I'll try. I'll try to, or I'll attempt to play. Um, that's probably my first love. My second love would be traveling, which unfortunately that's taken a hit this year. I have been very lucky and traveled really all over the world. I have family as far away as Australia and been lucky to go there a couple times. And um, we went to Peru and did Machu Picchu last year, and before
Wow.
before COVID, and well, I guess that's 2 years ago now. And yeah, I'm I like to experience the 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 big things in life, probably outside my means, but things that now mean more than ever where we can't travel. So I have no regrets in that way.
Excellent. I always kind of remember you as the kind of the sports guy. Yeah, I will challenge Nick Hilton to a lot of things, but I will not challenge Nick Hilton in the curling rink.
I still like to think that I'm one of the better curlers around here, but there's a lot of up and coming kids that seem to be proving me wrong. Um, I, I'm currently the president of the curling club, so I do spend a lot of time down there.
Oh man, I got to tell you, a few years back, I got involved with the NSISP, which is a international exchange student program, and I became a host father. So I decided I was going to host 2 internationals a year.
Mhm.
And one of the things we did was we set up, and I guess it would be Bridgewater. They had a curling club, and we decided we were going to go in and curl with all the students and whatnot. Man, I was so arrogant. I was like, yeah, I played hockey, right? So I'm like, give me the shoes. Watch me school these kids. I'm here to tell you, Nick, I didn't do well.
I have a hard time convincing my hockey friends that curling is the same level sport, but I'll tell you right now, like it's a whole set of different muscles to throw a curling stone than it is to skate around a hockey rink.
Right?
Yeah.
I
Um,
was like, the rock, the stone, I'm going to throw it at it. Everything's going to be fine. And I could not do that.
we've been very lucky in our club to we have half our members are probably stick curling members, and what that means is that it's a little different than traditional slide curling, but you throw with a stick, and it's for people of all ages and any disability. And last year, 2 of our members won the national championship, so that banner hangs proudly in our arena, and um, I'll probably be a stick curler at some point in my life, I'm sure.
Hey, that leads me to David Backman.
How do you know David Backman?
David Backman was my immediate supervisor when I started at Michelin.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's done things that I would love to do in the sport of curling. He was a junior Nova Scotia junior champion, and I think I could take him. I think it would be a fair game now, but it wasn't then, I'm sure. So
He just came to me one day and he was like, "You're from Yarmouth, right?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, Dave." And he's like, "Yeah, you know Nick Hilton?" Yes, I know Nick Hilton. We curled against the Yarmouth this weekend. We curled against him.
probably beat me. Yeah, yeah.
I said, Dave, you didn't tell many bad stories, did you?
If Dave likes to tell stories, so
He
he's a good,
does.
good guy, and he's a good ambassador of the sport. And if you ever take up curling, the one thing about the sport, I'm 37, and I have friends all over the province that I look forward to seeing every winter. Still, like Bonspiel, I went away 7 Bonspiels last year, all over the province when you were allowed to travel. And I couldn't tell you that there's a better group of people out there than the curlers in this province of Nova Scotia. So
100% agreed. Yep. Dave moved on to the plant in Granton, but I still keep in touch with him, till this day. We had a really good relationship.
Well, I'm sure when we point out that we were discussing him, he'll give it a listen. So,
So moving on, Nick, what led you to a career in nursing? Because I remember I did see you, man, it might have been 15 years ago. And I was, Nick, what are you up to? What do you do for work? And you're like, well, I'm a nurse. I'm like, really? I didn't see that coming from you.
well, and a word to all the kids. I went from high school to Burridge, which is the community college here in town. Took licensed practical nursing. Um, I had a great time in high school, and I probably didn't study as hard as I needed to get into, maybe to be a registered nurse at the time. And um, I did go to St. Mary's and took Bachelor of Arts for a year or two. But what led me to nursing? My parents are my mother is recently retired manager of diagnostic imaging. My aunt Heather, who is town councilor this year, is recently retired from being a registered nurse. My other aunt is a psychologist that used to work at the hospital. So the hospital in Yarmouth, as you know, is important. I put it on par with like the fishery. Like those are the two biggest things that the two biggest economic drivers in the town of Yarmouth. Um, don't get me wrong, we need everyone and anyone to keep the economy going in Yarmouth, but those are two, if we lost one of those, we would know. Anyway, I have always just been interested in helping people, and my family obviously had that same mentality. And it was a program at Burge that I could take and stay home because I do love living here. And um, it just happened. I applied and got in, and I've been there for 18 years. And I've worked all over the tri-counties and met a lot of great people that way. And probably part of those same qualities is what led me to take on running in the municipal election. So um, it's a
Right.
full circle kind of thing.
It seems like that would be a very rewarding career. And as a fellow shift worker, I know the days and the nights and everything, and that can be very hard. But to be there for someone when they're ill and when they need help, it's got to be rewarding.
Um, so as a fellow shift worker, I will say that there's very few people that know what it's like to be been up all night, and the feeling at what 4 or 5 a.m. feels like, or the drive home after. I hope you don't have to drive far for your sake. But um, I mean, I've been there for so long. It is. I love what I do, and I like helping people and giving direction to people and bringing some calm to maybe one of the worst days of their life, really. So it's just something that I'd like to say that I knew exactly what drew me there, but it's something that's in me to just give back to the community. And um, I do enjoy the job, and I enjoy the people. The politics of it, not so much, but the people are what get you through.
That's
Um,
exactly right. Yeah, the
yes,
people you work with.
if you asked any nurse, that's what they would tell you. So
When it's 4 in the morning and you're getting what I call the crusty Sandman eyes because you've just done, 3 or 4 12-hour shifts, it is them people that get you through it.
yeah, it is, yeah. And your coworkers, you can't say enough about your coworkers, because if you don't have good coworkers, it makes it a 12-hour shift seem like an eternity.
You got that right, brother. So, what characteristics do you think serve you well on town council?
So what I've learned so far is just listening to what people have to say, because you're not going to solve everyone's problem. You can advocate and direct them to what policies, procedures, and things that exist in different organizations that are in your community that can help with specific issues. But really, just listening to what people have to say, and sometimes just acknowledging that there is a problem, and um, there might not be an easy fix, but we can work on it together. So I probably get a bit of that from the nursing background as well. And that's really the number one thing: listening and advocating for people's needs and wants, and making sure that everyone in our community has a safe place to be.
It seems like it's really instilled in you, whether it be nursing or council, that, your main goal in life is to give back. And I can kind of see that. And I always knew that about you, but it's good to just sit here and hear it, one on one.
Yeah, I think if we're ever going to get somewhere as a as a county, or as a population, as humanity, really, um, it's all about helping each other better ourselves. And I don't know if it's wishful thinking at times to think that we could all do that. Unfortunately, I probably do think that way, but I'd like to believe that we can do that. And just, if you believe in karma and giving back, and that you get what you give. And I try to put out a positive energy most of the time. It can be, I mean, helping people isn't easy. Like, it's a struggle just to help yourself sometimes.
You're right. You're right. And you got to kind of reach deep inside yourself to keep that grind going.
Mm,
I
yeah,
feel like Yarmouth has taken a hit, this last month or two. And I've lived a few places, and I feel that, the people of Yarmouth kind of have this grit to them in the face of adversity. And, no matter what tragedies happen, it seems like they're always ready to move forward.
yeah, it's been a, everyone wished that 2020 ended and 2021 was going to be this whole new exciting year where we put the past behind us. But in Yarmouth, we've continued to kind of suffer unmentionable tragedies, really. And my first thoughts are always with those families as we try to support them in their worst days. But you're right, we are resilient, and out of some of those tragedies, we are, as as a council, as a county, building on and supporting programming and organizations that help support those people. So we will kind of work together to get through them, and really just be there for them, and be there for them and their families, and continue just to push forward.
Yeah. I know a lot of people's thoughts and prayers are with those families. You got people like Brent Malazon coming out and doing great community work. I know JD Allen, he has the coat drives every winter. So that brings me back to when we were in Maple Grove into the Memorial Club, and we had Joe Bashara coming out and telling us in the group that, your generation will be uh, the next leaders of our community. And you don't think about it that much then. But now, as older and wiser, he couldn't have been more right. There's people like you, Zach Churchill, Brent Malazon, these people that are just doing, JD, they're doing great community work. And it's good to see that come full circle.
I had the pleasure of having a having a sit down with our MLA actually last week, and I always told him that you could always tell that he was going to do big things. Like, you just knew. Like, when I was at SMU, he was the head of, like, the student body. Like, he was always involved in high school, and his name just always popped up, and he was always a positive leader. And I'm excited for him. Political parties aside, no, nothing, just for him. I'm excited for him. Um, and I know that his job isn't easy. You can't, again, what we talked about, you can't always do what you feel like, or you can't always do what you want to do. Props to him for everything that he's done for our community. And I don't remember a whole lot from Maple Grove, walking the loop and and Memorial Club would probably be the biggest memory that I have. I was very lucky to have a grandfather that was a veteran, and last night actually, from my grandmother, I received his medals, and it was like the only thing that I ever really wanted to have from him, and my family gave them to me, and I'll be displaying them behind my desk for future Zoom meetings for everyone to kind of see. And uh, um, Joe Bashir is one of those legendary teachers that you the topics he was teaching about, you never knew would be the most important topics you'd ever listen to. Um, it's a shame that the Memorial Club is no longer, but he instilled that into thousands of kids, and he's probably one of Yarmouth's um, most recognized people, uh, and I don't see him enough, actually. I'm not sure where he's hiding. I hope from this conversation, if he ever listens to it, he'll reach out and say hi. So
You know what? I want him to reach out to me too. Let's get him on Local Celebrity, right?
yes, that's great. Yeah.
He definitely shaped a lot of who people become, and you don't realize it at the time. But
I actually had the pleasure, I think it's his son, who he played the bagpipes for a couple curling events, and I know he was involved in Memorial Club too, but um, nothing more iconic than a set of bagpipes at an event in Nova Scotia. And
it's New Scotland, buddy.
yeah, right. And just a plug for New Scotland Clothing, they're actually curlers as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. New
clo-
Scotland.
yeah, clothing made by curlers for curlers. So
Okay, there you have it. So Nick, man, thanks for coming on. Like, it's been many years since we've seen each other, but I reached out and I said, Nick's got to be on this. He's everything I want this show to be. And you reached out within hours and was like, I'm in. Let's get back to the community. And I hope to go broad. I hope to go to many communities. But to have you as the first official guest, man, it's been my pleasure.
something that I wanted to grow is the social media presence, because um, it's just, in this day and age, it's how you communicate with your public a lot. I mean, especially during COVID, election knocking door to door was a bit different this year, and just having a huge social media presence allows you to get your message out in multiple ways. And as I said, I'm looking to get more comfortable with this, and I was excited that it was you, and this was more of a conversation between friends and community members, and I've really enjoyed it.
All right, buddy. Well, we have some local celebrity swag, and it is made by Andrea Dennis, my partner, plug. And we are going to be getting you this as soon as I'm in the area.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the rules on you visiting these days are, but I look forward to seeing you when you do get here.
We might have to stay 6 feet apart with our masks, but we will see each other.
For sure.
Okay, Nick. Well, thanks for coming on. That has been Local Celebrity, our very first edition, and stay tuned for more interviews. Thank you.